Welcome everyone, and welcome to this yet another mastermind. And I welcome you all in this session. Today's golden nugget that we have taken is a very common topic, and that common topic is we feeling tired. And when I say we feeling tired, I'm talking about most of the time we are feeling tired. Is it something that you relate yourself that yes, it is me? I also feel tired most of the time I say it's not just the evening or the hectic day and things like that. It is sometime in the morning when you get started with your day and you feel tired, you do not feel that energetic. It's not just tired with your physical stamina, it is a lot of things put together. It may be a mental stamina, it may be your mindset, it may be your mood, it may be your something, but it is stamina, it is the energy level I'm talking about. So do you feel tired? That's the question. If that is so, that's the golden nugget of this mastermind today, and I'm going to talk about on that. Always feel tired. Do you feel tired most of the time? If you feel so, then this is something that we are referring to today. Low energy level. You're not feeling energetic or you're not feeling like doing something. Something is that thing that is already there on your card that you have already scheduled that you should be doing for your work, for your pleasure, for your relationship, for your whatever, but you are not into that energy level. So you are feeling fresh, energetic is the angle we are talking about. Now, always feeling tired is number one sign for money drain, is what theories talks about. When we talk about anytime productivity, you talk about you know uh, earning more and getting more out of what you do. This is identified by the experts, productivity experts, as number one sign for your money drain, because it drains money left, right, and center. It is not just the loss of that particular output there, but it is also the loss of your time, the loss of your opportunity, the loss of your future hours. So if I'm not, energized today at this moment or this 1 hour, what will happen is my afternoon, my evening, my other 5 meetings, my evening sessions, everything is going to get, affected, and it is the sign of money drain. And when it happens, this is a concern for everyone, and perhaps it feels. This acts as a silent drainer. Most of the time, it is silent drainer because we do not even understand, we do not even realize that it is draining it out. It keeps draining you silently, and you do not even notice it once, and it is there. You lose money every hour because it is causing cascading effect. And low energy level leads to lack of focus, lack of interest in what you once were interested at, what is already there in your long term goal, but there you feel like lack of interest at that point in time, and that adds to procrastination left, right, and center. So everything that you have taken up, everything that you are energetic for, everything that you were motivated for, where now is mein kahan pe aa gaya, it has become something which is getting procrastinated now, because you are feeling that not now, I'll do it. I still have the intention, I still have the motivation, I will do it. So intention, motivation, everything is at top up. But things are not happening because you are not feeling energetic. You are not having that energy level physically, mentally, whatever you can call it. So that's what is the topic we are talking today. So if you compare your body and your battery of anything, your laptop battery, your phone battery, any battery you talk about, today we are on gadget and devices. So everywhere there is a battery. And here there is a battery in your body, and the battery has got something to do with charging and draining. So battery drains, and if you can kind of compare with your lithium battery and your body, I think this will be the best comparison, and it actually gives you a better idea how to then take care of it, how to get the best output from it. A battery of your phone may be a battery which has got a certain life, and that same way life has got certain life. Maybe you have been defined as 105 year, 10 year, 100 years, whatever. So there's a life ka time, there's a battery ka time, and all it depends on how you use that battery. The battery might get worn out in 6 months, in 1 year, even if the time given was for 5 year or 3 year. The body same way can get worn out even in 55 years, 60 years, 70 years, and it can even live for 120 years, depending on how the battery was handled, how much charging was done, how many draining was done, how many times the draining was done, how the charging was done. Was the charging done with a lot of shock I mean, if you can kind of recall when you travel in some train, Rajdhani or some place, and you would find that when you put the phone in the charging, it actually flickers and it does something. And if you are a regular frequent traveler in the train, you actually keep putting your phone in the charger there, you would find that your battery is gone after a few months. Why? Because that is charging at a different voltage altogether. And that requires a different voltage altogether. So how you are charging, what time you are charging, how frequently you are charging, how much time you are draining. If your battery, I mean, every phone perhaps would have some kind of marking done by the phone manufacturer, which says that 10% or 5%, they keep it in reserve. It is a red mark. So how many times you cross the red mark below? If you do not cross the red mark below, then the battery life is always going to be better. But every time your phone drains out and gets shut down because of the battery low, then the battery is already going. And 3-5 cycles, I'm not the chemical expert and the battery expert, but what I understand from the equipment manufacturers, that this is what happens, that if it goes below that line, battery gets worn out and then the battery is not used. This is what it happens. So this is very strange. At the same time, if you notice, some people would say that do not always put the charger in your MacBook or laptop. Not always. So if you are putting always charger on, then the ups and downs are not happening. The cycle of battery is not completing, and that can also be number one reason for battery getting destroyed, or maybe battery life getting over. Why? Because the charging is not using. It is always on the battery charge. Now, sitting is next to smoking. If you sit all the time and you do not actually exercise, you do not work, then what is happening is your battery life is getting lower and lower and lower. So battery life getting exhausted, getting destroyed. So it is again very nice comparison, as I said, is when you compare your body and you compare your battery, it's gadget ka battery. It is a very good comparison, and it gives you a lot of insight, actually, not the knowledge. It gives you an insight that how to take care of some battery called body. Your body has got that battery, and the battery is connected with so many things: your mind, body, spirit. Everything is your happiness, your mindset, what food you eat, what supplement you take, how much exertion you take, how much sleep you take, how much sleep you do not take, how much anger you keep, how much disturbance you keep in your mind. All that, how much positive vibes you keep, how much positive people you meet, all that is going to count. And this is what is the comparison you should do. How many hours you are able to work without getting tired is the measurement of your battery, one of the measurement for your battery. How many hours you are able to work without getting tired. Whatever number of hours you think of, and whatever number of hours you wanted to really take it, and what is the gap. Always find the gap. If there is a gap, you could actually fill that gap by taking care of your battery, is what the point here is. 1/3 of the people, this is from one of the study done in US with more than 3,000 people. And the study reveals that 1/3 of the people are feeling tired on regular basis. And this is very common in that particular people. They feel that, yes, this is common and this happens. Now, there is no specific data with me for our country as of now. But what is happening is there might be some studies which needs to be explored and checked. But then if you check with your own 5 friends, and you would find that most of them will say this. And I have checked with a couple of my friends and associates and colleagues, and I have found it out. Most of them are saying so. So that means there is no ratio, but there are people who are actually feeling tired on a regular basis, and it happens with them. They do not know the reason. They sometimes blame their night sleep. They sometimes blame their hectic day, sometimes blame their something, but they are not actually even aware of that what to blame and what not to blame. The reason is not clear to them, only because that is not so important for them. They're not even taking this as one of the important factors. They feel that I'm draining is draining fine. For draining, they are counter doing it with something different. They're kind of entertaining themselves. They're kind of, relaxing. Some point in time, they're just closing the work and they're doing something. So this exists there. This is something, another one, that cause for battery drain we need to talk about. Battery is draining, fine. But what is the cause for battery drain? It could be disease, or it could be lifestyle factor. It could be disease, it could be lifestyle factor. It will affect your mind, it will affect your body. So mind, body is separate. But prima facie, there are two factors that could, causes that can, be. One is disease, any disease. You may have some kind of ache, you may have some kind of acidity, you may have some disease, maybe a diabetes, which makes you, down, which makes you low energy, which makes you more hungry and more, less energetic. It could be some kind of hidden disease, which might have some kind of effect on that. It may be kidney disease, it may be liver disease, which is not even declared as disease, but it is there, and the physical symptoms are yet to appear. It could be some kind of hidden disease and things like that. Or it could be your lifestyle factor, what you eat, how many times you eat, what quantity you eat, and how you eat, how much water you drink, how much hydration you keep, what kind of items you take in your food, what kind of items together you take in your food. So all that, what kind of drugs you are taking, what kind of medicines you are taking, what kind of supplements you are taking. Are you taking wrong medicines? Are you taking wrong drugs? Or maybe you are taking the right drug and the doctor is also right and the disease needs to be taken care of, but that medicine is actually making you feel tired. The battery is getting drained because of that particular medicine. Or maybe your sleepless night, or maybe you're some kind of insomnia, or some kind of sleep disorder. So those, anything could count. Lifestyle factor will also include your smoking, your alcohol consumption. It may be, your simple coffee cup, the coffee that you are addicted to, the tea you are addicted to, the kind of tobacco you take, or the kind of cigarette smoking, or anything for that matter. Anything can influence your battery draining. And very ironically, there are things which actually you take for charging the battery, but actually that drains the battery right now, that charges the battery. Then and there it charges the battery. You feel the kick, you get that nicotine, and you get that caffeine, and it gives you a kick. But at the same time, that actually drains your battery on a long run, and even in short run. The same day you would be feeling more tired because you have actually taken that one. Couple of other things, like, the I talked about what you eat. Trans fat, if you are taking, and if you are taking is not the word today, you need to kind of cross it out, because each and every one is taking trans fat. You talk about fast food, you talk about junk food, you talk about some kind of anything that ideally people are calling from Swiggy and the food delivery apps and things like that. What is happening is, most of the things are actually trans fat. The more things that you consume, those namkeen, farsan, and those kind of biscuits and all that, most of them are trans fat. And high sugary drinks that you're taking, which has got all those artificial sweeteners, which are more than you can imagine the harms of that, is all actually is drainer. So it is actually keeping you drained. That time again, ironically, they would give you a kick. That eating is, making you feel good, because there are a lot of happy hormones getting released and you are feeling it good. Oxytocin gets released, and you feel like good. So these are something that you can fix very easily. The moment you identify what is the reason for your drain. It is disease, so disease needs to be identified. It is lifestyle factor, including your sleep pattern, that needs to be identified. If you can identify it, it could kind of work. And therefore, I talk about a theory, which is a theory created by me in way back 2015. This is known as Dell's theory. And we talk about DELS, delete stress button from your life, and Dell button, Dell, 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 Dell. So Dell is diet, exercise, lifestyle, and stress. And S stands for three things. One is the stress, one is sleep, one is supplement. So if you take care of your diet, exercise, lifestyle, stress, sleep, and supplement, there's 8 things, 5 plus 3. You would never be actually, dealing with any unforeseen situations, or maybe battery drain, or maybe your disease, or something, provided we are, alert, and we are taking care of these 5 things. Causes of battery drain is what is the golden nugget today. So far, I was just talking about how critical this battery drain is. What is the cause? General cause. One is consuming refined carbs. If you talk about refined carb, there's perhaps very less items in your kitchen, or in your dining table, or in your fridge, which actually is not a refined carb. Check it out. Your aisle, your floor, everything you talk about is refined. Refined oil, refined rice, refined pulses, refined, everything is refined. Everything is processed rather. Maida is of refined flour, and most of the things are maida. We talk about, you go for that some kind of pasta, some kind of noodle, you get some kind of pizza. You talk about anything for that matter, which gives you a taste, or Chinese or something. Everything, if you talk about taste and curry, it will have the refined carb. And most of the ready to eat, ready to mix, and ready to cook items available in your kitchen and your fridge is basically a refined carb. And these refined carbs are basically part of our life and part of our plate. If you take your plate, think of how many raw items are there in it. You would have tough time to find out the raw items, including the spices. जो मसाले आपने उसमें डाले हैं, they are also, most of them are refined because the essential oils are missing in that. And that is why this Tata Sampann and all that are talking about that we preserve the essential oil of that masala, and that is how they are different, and they are selling it at 3x price. But then the idea is today everything has become refined, and when it comes to trans fat, it's rampant. It's already there. Not eating enough calorie is another one, because most of the people today are taking a lot of junk calorie from trans fat and from other things, and they're using apps like Healthify and other Fi. And what is happening is they are one arithmetic style when they are calculating the carb consumption and the calorie consumption. So calorie earn, calorie burn is their equation, but they are forgetting that this calorie is completed by the junks that they have taken. And once that is taken, they actually become so figure conscious. Figure conscious, I would say, not the health conscious, because they are destroying the health by being that figure conscious, artificial figure conscious. And most of the women and young girls and most of the office goer males are actually becoming that figure conscious. Most of the health centers and the slimming centers mushrooming across the city, and the nutritionists sitting in those gyms actually are promoting this unknowingly. And they are saying that cut on your calorie consumption. So calorie consumption is all cut. So when your calorie consumption is cut, that actually is your energy source. Glucose is your energy source. You are actually cutting the carb. You should cut the simple carb and you should take the complex carb, because in your healthy diet, that what RDA says, the recommended daily dietary allowance, it says that you should have 40-30-30. That means 60-20-20. It should have 60% carb, and you should have complex carb, and you should have 20% fat, 20% protein. That is what is the actual RDA recommendation. Now 60% carb is essential, that is required. You can't cut that. So if you are cutting that, then the not eating enough calorie can be one of the reasons for leading you to fatigue and make it difficult to meet that nutrient need. And if you're not meeting it, if you're not putting the petrol or the fuel in the engine would have anyway draining situation. The another one is food sensitivity. There are a lot of people who are sensitive to food and they're not aware of they're sensitive to food. And it is not that you say that I'm never sensitive to food. It is a dynamic system. Every 6 months, every 3 months, every 5 months, every 1 year, your situation changes. The same milk which you were good at and you were loving it and it was shooting you, it's possible that that milk is not anymore suitable to you. You have become sensitive to that milk, and that milk can create harm to you instead of creating good to you. The same thing happened with any of the pulses, any of the grains, any of the fruits, any of the vegetables, any of the spices, any of the oils. It could happen to anything. And why it will happen? Because your body is going through certain change because of your lifestyle, because of the food you take. That means when you consume certain things and it is not digested well because of the acid availability in your stomach, low acid, high acid, whatever. And if undigested food, unprocessed food is entering into your small intestine, that time this food tolerance and intolerance comes into picture. Because something which has gone unprocessed and body has identified that as threat, automatically the self-defense mechanism gets up and it attacks on that. And it declares that food as threat to your body. And the same food, that milk thistle or something, now is identified, body kind of gets woken up and self-defense mechanism happens and body's immune system actually catches it and says that this is threat for my body. And that becomes something that it is body then is no longer going to tolerate that. And you are eating that because right from the childhood or young age, you have been taking that. So that creates problems. So food sensitivity could, and there are so many tests available today. Food intolerance test is known as FIT, food intolerance test. And you could get blood test done, and they would tell you the whole list of intolerance, that whatever allergic you are to, and you would be able to know it. The another one is not getting enough protein. This is one of the blunder which most of us are doing, because in our Indian food or Indian recipes, the protein is not that great. The ancient Indian recipes they had, अपना जो थाली का सिस्टम है उसमें सब कुछ है, right from Kerala to Tamil Nadu or Jammu Kashmir to UP to Maharashtra, anywhere you go, right from northeast to Bengal to Tripura and Assam, you would find that every thali, the traditional thali, has got everything balanced. But how many of you and us are taking actually that traditional thali? It is most of them are converted to convenient food, fast food, and some kind of junk food. Traditional thali has become the system of that festivities and some kind of teuhar mein, some kind of fashion mein hum karte hain. So that is their gap is. So if you are not having the enough food, protein in that, it could be complemented, supplemented with protein supplements, and you could kind of use that out. Pulses, fish, all that can add value and add protein. The milk, the dairy, the eggs. Inadequate hydration is also one of the prime reasons. This sometimes we feel that it is not so important, that this is most important, because what happens is throughout our busy schedule or throughout our lifestyle or the way we carry ourselves, we do not actually take this adequate hydration. So that gap lapses, and this can be one of the reasons. The other reason is relying on your energy drinks. So for you, it could be any energy drink. Just don't think that I don't take this cold drink or maybe aerated drink or maybe some kind of those Black Bull and White Bull and Monster and God, we do not take all that. But then there is a cup I have kept. And this cup talks about that this is for everyone. Someone is, loving the coffee. Someone is loving the tea. Tea is great. Coffee is great. It is good. The caffeine is required. And that will give you a kick, and that is very good for your health too. But at the same time, if you get addicted to that coffee, or maybe that same coffee has got some sugar, something, and you're taking the numbers of that is more than what you should take, then it is going to create trouble for you. And that point in time feels that it has given energy. Be it your aerated drink, be it your energy drink, be it your cup of coffee or tea or whatever. It actually feels that it is giving energy at that point in time, but it is actually, energy drainer for you on the same day. Forget long run. It is on the same day, it is energy drainer for you because it has got cascading effect. It would affect your sleep. It would affect your sleep. One of the wellness strategist blog I was reading a couple of weeks back, and he's a very renowned blogger and talks about some research-based theories from Europe. He talks about that afternoon after 3 p.m., no tea or coffee should be taken. Rather, he's referring to caffeine. No caffeine should be taken because that has got direct interference with your sleep. And he talks about that take a window of 8 to 10 years, and that particular afternoon caffeine is going to destroy your sleep like anything. And when you attain your age of 50 plus, you would realize that the sleep ka quota has gone. It's same the battery life which we are talking today. Now the battery life of this, even the phone is just 5 months old, is gone down. You can charge again and again. Keep charging, fine. It will keep working. It is not getting drained. But now the capacity is low. It's like your bladder capacity. It's like your sleep total potential. So this is very, very important, that how we carry ourselves and keep the battery healthy. The other one is sedentary lifestyle. Sitting is next to smoking, everyone understands. So sedentary lifestyle is adding value there, and whether we accept it or not, whether it is work from home or work from office, whether it is pre-COVID or post-COVID, you talk about any reason, number of reasons, but then finally we are sedentary, let us accept it. It is also clubbed with the workload. So if you have got more workload, then always you are, on your laptop or in your computer, on your phone, or working for something. Now, when you are working for something, you cannot be at 90 degree all the time for 14 hours or 15 hours or whatever 12 hours you are working at. The idea is that some point in time, you would feel like taking a pillow and then start working, doing like this and start working like the gentleman is doing on the sofa. So what is happening is you kind of get adjusted to that. We do not notice it, and that leads to the reason. The one more reason which is understood by everyone is lack of sleep quality. If your sleep quality is not that great, then what will happen is inadequate, poor quality of sleep is going to, deprive you from that energy level which you actually were, blessed with, and that will not happen. So the energy level will be low, and that energy level will not really work there. Getting several hours of uninterrupted sleep is uh, going to make your body uh, tired, because sleep is to make you fresh. Sleep is to revive the system, and sleep you to make you energetic. So the brain needs to recharge, and the recharge will happen only when we sleep. The phone charging will happen only when you actually plug the cord in the phone. So that's what this option is. The another reason is sleeping at wrong time. Of course, if you sleep at wrong time, you will get up at wrong time. But sleeping at wrong time has got a lot to do to upset your body's natural rhythm, and it would kind of lead to fatigue. And the fatigue would be a common system there, because your wrong time is getting adjusted and you are actually sleeping on the wrong time. Try to sleep at night, or retrain your body to follow that clock. And in most of the cases, when we talk about, odd working hours, earlier the odd working hours were only applying to the people who were working in shift and things like that. People who were frequent traveler, unke liye apply hota tha. Now it is applying to most of us, because simple reason is that everyone is working from home. WFH has actually put the whole clock in a ongoing moment, and it is changing that out. This is another one which is high stress level. Accept it or not, there is a stress level already there, and that high stress level actually disturbs the whole rhythm, and it actually drains you out. It is something that it consumes. It's like some kind of app which is running in the background of your phone, and you are not knowing it. It is not activated by you, and that is consuming your whole energy, whole phone's battery. Same way, if there is a stress, it is an app. It is a series of app. It is the master app which is working on the back of your mind, and it is actually draining you out. So this is there. I would give you another reason, which is the pandemic effect, and I would talk about two, three factors here. Pandemic effect is huge. Whether you are closed in home, or whether with pandemic limitations you are trying to work, or you are working, the reasons are applicable to most of the people. Right from a student who is studying on the screen, to a person like you, me, who are actually professionally working, from the business people, from someone, everyone is affected. Right from the housewife and homemakers, everyone is affected with this. All the diet aspects, sedentary living, sleep timing, the stress, all that we talked about in previous slides are at 2x, 3x, 5x, 8x, 10x in this particular scenario, when the pandemic effect has happened that way. So this is where it is. Couple of things which I'll talk about in pandemic effect is, one is Zoom fatigue. It is real. Just Google it, Zoom fatigue is real, and you will find the most of the searches and most of the things happening there. This is a one line keyword which has happened. Zoom fatigue is real. Everyone is in Zoom today, and they're zooming right from morning to night, and there is no time for zooming, because in office there was a time that 6 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. or 7 p.m., whatever, the office will close. So a couple of meetings which are there, they will get lined up from 10 to 6. There were lunch break also. When you're zooming, there is no break, there is no tea break, there is no travel time, there is no office time. You can zoom at any time. So there is a link and you join now. So when you join now, there is no break, there is no gap, and you are actually zooming. And since a lot of people are connected, it's like, CC to email. So that person also should join, that person also should join. And when you are a part of integral, or a big team, you cannot say no. Or maybe for your interest, you should be there, because this is some execution we are talking about. So what happens is, like, unlike unwanted CC mails, you get into unwanted Zoom sessions also, and there are a lot of wanted Zoom sessions also. So whatever is the thing, that zooming and Zoom is actually creating that fatigue, and that fatigue is real. In WFH, if you talk about your posture, your eye strain, your dry eye, everything is happening. I think Dr. Mona Lisa is there in this group right away. I could ask her at the end. She could tell. I mean, I have just visited my ophthalmologist here in Mumbai because I was feeling the eye strain because a lot of time thing is happening. The eye check was done, and I found, and I inquired with the doctor. He said that the number of people visiting with dry eye is increasing because of the screen time you says during their work, during their study. Students are coming. So everyone, because now the students who were actually reading 1 hour, 2 hours is 8 hours on computer. Your computer screen time has increased. Earlier, you were actually doing it for 2 hours, 3 hours. Now you're doing it for 12 hours. So it is increased. So that all is happening, and it is actually acting as a drainer for you, and that's energy drainer. The other one is long COVID makes you feel tired. Long COVID effects. The last time we had a session on this. When we talk about long COVID, we are talking about post-COVID complications, which might appear 6 months down the line, 8 months down the line, and it can cripple one of your system, or maybe it can affect partially to some of the systems. It can affect some of your behavior. It can affect the stamina of your body, the energy level of your body, or the way the body was actually processing things, the way the body was metabolizing the thing which you were, intaking. And therefore, people are getting diabetes, people are getting thyroid, people are getting abdominal problems, people are getting what you call is arthritis and cardiac problems and other problems. All the problems are happening post COVID. वो भी 6 months, 8 months के बाद. Why? Because long COVID has got all that effects. It has got your hormonal imbalance. It has got your metabolism disorder. It has got your glucose tolerance level change. It has got your sleep pattern completely changed. All that is happening. Now, if all these is happening, which are core and vitals of your energy level, then what will happen is your energy level can go lower and lower and lower. So post-COVID effect. So I was just talking about this post-pandemic effect. There could be a couple of things which I talked about. Post-pandemic, one is that Zoom fatigue is real. The other one we talked about is long COVID. The post-COVID complications can make you feel tired most of the time. The another thing which could happen is post-pandemic situations around, because a lot of situations around post-pandemic. One is that you are actually, always feeling drained post-pandemic. Look at the reason, introspect, think of, and find out what actually could be the reason. And you would realize that there are a lot of things around. There are things, negativity around, bad news around, loss of business is there, salary cuts are there, loss of job is there, loss of opportunities are there. Future is uncertain. So future uncertainty is already, visibly seen. A lot of relatives, friends, and colleagues you are seeing, and business associates, you're finding that they have got issue. Stress is piling up. And these all aspects are actually creating, a mindset that is, becoming the biggest drainer, because our mind is subjective to something. If a person who is actually, in cricket ground, actually making a shot, or maybe a tennis level, if someone is playing, if there is a cheerleader or maybe a darshak, the viewers, if they clap, if they kind of praise, another 6 goes. If the darshak is not clapping, the energy goes down. So it is all surround which we notice, and we actually, feel pepped up, or we feel drained or feel down. So all that is happening, and this creates trouble there. So how to check? The last point is how to check. And I want to give you a small, test. You can take this as self-assignment for this Sunday today. And what is the test is very simple. Just you need to take 15 minutes time with a pen, paper. You can take your phone, notepad, or anything for that matter. Make a note anywhere. 15 minutes, take out today, and do this test. And what is the test? Is self-assessment test. All you need to do is review your last 15 days, 2 weeks only. Review your last 15 days. Today is first. You review, last 15 days, 15th to 31st, something like that. And what you need to review is check different aspects of it. And what are the aspects? Number one aspect is number of hours you are able to work without getting tired. Number of hours you are able to work without getting tired is number one test. The other test you need to do is number of steps you are able to walk without getting tired. The another test you can do is number of minutes you are able to focus or concentrate on something. Or maybe your concentration is intact for how many minutes when you are not getting distracted. You're doing something, you can decide anything to do, work, anything you take. And if you are not getting distracted, not getting defocused for how many minutes, and I'm talking about everywhere hours, how many steps you can walk, how many hours you can work without getting tired. But here I'm talking about how many minutes you are able to keep your concentration intact. The three tests: number of hours you are able to work without getting tired, number of steps you are able to take without getting tired in one shot, and number of minutes you are able to keep your concentration intact. Take the score of all three, and you would realize, and then recall your 2 years back, 3 years back, 1 year back, whatever. You would, little gap, you would realize that there is a drastic change. And it's not because of your aging. It is because things are working all against you post pandemic, and things are, changing big way. And this introspection would be a great introspection because it could help you change your DELs: diet, exercise, lifestyle, stress, supplement, everything, sleep. And you would be able to change with your own motivation. No one is asking you to change because you yourself has done the introspection. You have found the score sheet and you have found the solution also, and you're able to change. If that happens, this would be a great mastermind and this would help everyone. So this is all about today. Thank you so much. And I would just love to have a couple of questions from you. But before, I would ask Dr. Mona Lisa that if there is any surge in number of dry eye and these fatigue things in your clinic and in your domain. Is Dr. Mona Lisa here?
Yes, very, very good morning. 100%, if I say more than 100% basically, because
Super.
everyone is coming with this type of symptoms
So,
these days.
doctor, I want you to
And
give
not only
gold,
that,
I want you
not
to
only
give the
that,
golden nuggets to all of us for that.
yeah, that is the 20-20-20 rule. That is the most important.
But
There
in
should be
like
a
lot
break
of
of 20
2020
seconds.
in 2020 schedules, now we all forget that 2020. रात में याद आता है 2020 किया नहीं.
You should remember it in the morning.
Yes.
With the tea.
Other than
That is
2020,
the thing. Yes.
Is there anything that you could suggest in things that we can do?
No, another thing is very important, that is hydration. That part
Yes.
is also very much neglected
Okay.
because when we work on a desk, we forget to hydrate ourselves. That is another factor.
Okay.
And another thing is blinking.
Blinking.
We should blink.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what I say, there you blink with every enter.
Okay.
When I put the enter and blink, I
Okay.
make it a habit.
Oh, so it is
Then
habit
it will be an autopilot.
like James Clear. Super idea.
Hmm.
You can stack the
It
habit.
works.
Blink. Every
And
time you
I have started in my clinic the dry eye. Initially, we used to have the glaucoma clinic, retina clinic. Now there is a dry eye clinic also.
Oh, super.
And now there are many instruments have come so
Okay.
that we can measure it properly
Okay.
and treat it like that. It has become a great problem now for the kids also, for the adults, everyone.
One question I want to ask Dr. Mona Lisa to you is that when you talk about, checking your eye, of course, regularly you should check, and, post 40, the numbers would keep changing. With a lot of computer screen, it would keep changing. But then the question of mine is that if you get it checked with your ophthalmologist with their whole system, and you get it checked with some kind of optical store like Lenscart or something, or Titan Eye or something, is there a difference between that, or everything is same?
Yeah, there definitely, because we in all these Titan Eye or whatever it may be, optical shop basically in chains, there the optometrist just check the power, refractive error, the
Okay.
power of the spectacle. And not only that, in most of them, they are not also optometrists. They are just trained. They train the people at a low cost, they hire at a low cost, and their idea is to sell the spectacle, nothing else.
Okay.
So at least once in a year, it is a must to go to some proper checkup with any eye doctor, ophthalmologist, not optometrist. That is very, because so many things are there which are overlooked, and patient come to us at a very late stage.
Okay.
That can be avoided.
Okay, so better to check with doctor. Okay,
Yeah,
doctor.
yeah, definitely.
Doctor, one more question. Dr. Suresh Pathak ji is asking that any supplement to be taken for dry eye reduction, according to you?
As such, the supplement will not reduce the dry eye reduction,
Yeah.
but the balanced diet is very important. In that case, if you are not taking the proper diet, there is a role of supplement,
Okay.
basically. But supplement will not cure dry eye.
It will not cure. Yes, of course, it will
It will not
supplement.
cure
So the
dry
name
eye,
itself
yeah.
is
But
supplement.
the
Named as
yeah, but supplement is required to compensate the because you are not taking the proper diet most
okay.
of the time.
Okay.
That is
Very
very
nice.
important. That you can help in this field.
So there is one supplement known as zeaxanthin is the component name, which
Yeah,
is
zeaxanthin is good
and
for eye health.
today I'm told I'm also a member of AFSTI, which is Association of Food Scientists and Technologists of India, where we understand that there is a huge number of zeaxanthin supplements are being consumed in India in last 2 years, and it is increasing every month. And there are a lot of brands which are coming up with, and there are a lot of good products available in the market. I also have got one of the brand called Goyang, and we have got one eye care supplement which is made with zeaxanthin and lecithin and all that, which is most of to do with sunflower oil seeds, and we have got
Will you please,
the
will you please, will you please put, doctor, will you please put it in the WhatsApp
I would put the
message?
link. I would put the link. So those are supplements which could help. But as Dr. Monalisa said, that it is not for cure, and therefore it is not medicine. It is supplement. So supplementing it out. So that is how it is. Natural food is great. That is what doctor said. And all supplement has got the only one purpose, that the foods that you are not able to take in balanced quantity, if you can kind of extract and take it in the form that is convenient for you to take in powder form, capsule form, syrup form, some kind of thing. So that is supplementation. But cure is always taking care of your diet and taking care of your DELS, actually diet, exercise, lifestyle, stress. Anyone has got another question, or shall we wind up?
Sir, just want to know the
Hi,
natural
Sunny, how are
food
you?
option.
After a
Good,
long
sir.
time,
Great, sir. Great,
great.
sir.
Yes, sir. Ask me.
Sir, natural food items for just this dry eyes. What should be included in our diet?
बेसिकली
Particularly.
गाजर गाजर और कैरोटेनॉइड की बात होती है. कैरोटेनॉइड सबसे ज्यादा गाजर में होता है, एंड विटामिन ए की बात होती है. सो यू नीड टू टॉक अबाउट विटामिन ए.
Actually, you should take all the seasonal fruits.
ग्रेट.
Okay, ma'am.
Whichever is available in that particular season, you take all the seasonal fruits and vegetables, and with that, the essential oil should be there. You should take if you eat fish, it is very good. But if you are not taking, if you are not in a culture of taking fish, then you will have to take proper protein and all these things from milk products.
Okay, ma'am.
Sorry, how many times we have to blink our eyes? Is there any morning,
No,
afternoon?
no. Usually, what happens? Usually, there is at least 12 to 14 blinks in a minute. But when we work on laptop or any computer, we want to stare at it. The blinking decreases. So you make a habit when you put the enter. You are typing, no? You are putting enter and blink. Then it will come in a autopilot mode, and it will be your habit.
This was wonderful trick given by Dr. Monalisa today, and I think this I'm amazed with the trick, because this is directly connecting to James Clear's habit stacking formula. That if you're not able to follow
Yes,
certain habit, you stack the habit and attach it with something.
with another
Will you
thing.
please, will you please explain once again? I was not able to understand.
James Clear
Please.
says that do the habit stacking if you are not able to follow certain habit.
Okay.
So habit is what? Habit is blink eye. Now,
Yes.
body, the natural tendency is God has created this body with a process that eye should blink automatically the number of times it should blink. As doctor explained, doctor has explained just now that how many times it should blink. Body automatically blinks. You do not have to do anything. It does automatically. But when you are actually staring on some, laptop or a screen or maybe some kind of social scroll, what is happening is your mind is occupied in something else, and then वो blinking करना भूल गया. It forgot to blink. So therefore, you need to kind of build the habit, good habit to blink. And that habit is stacking. So what she suggested, a wonderful idea she has suggested rather, is that you will put the enter, whether on phone on your something. So
Okay.
every time you enter, you program your mind that enter matlab eye blink. Enter matlab eye blink. Now you are entering 100 times and plus time and 100 plus time, you are already blinking. That's great.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that you can do. And this is good.
Thank you.
So
Great.
good mastermind
Great.
takeaway doctor has given, and it is wonderful for everyone. I'm going to tell this to my all different contacts, and this is.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So I think we're done for this session today. I would put the recording in your group, and I wish you all a relaxed Sunday and stay safe, because this wave 3 is coming or second wave is continuing is not known, but the numbers are increasing and it is still posing a threat. So I think stay safe and take care. Thank you. Bye.